Today we work with a business owner who at times has been lost.
It feels like I'm setting up a totally different business, even though it's doing exactly what I've been doing before.
Stuck in tech jargon.
I'm just trying to do the marketing, trying to set up a new website. I'm just doing everything.
Have you ever felt like you've had a bit of ping pong going on?
Yeah, it's been full on.
Scrambling and struggling.
Well, I've been doing 7 days a week. I think I'm starting to get a bit burnt out as well.
Let's go from confused to pure clarity and 300k better off.
So welcome to the Business Growth Secrets Audit. Nicky, you look great today.
Thank you very
in your
much.
power suit, you're looking amazing.
No trying.
So I'm looking forward to breaking this down with you, and then we can dive on in and see exactly where you're at.
So I'm Nicky. I'm an executive psychotherapist, and Transform to Perform coaching is my business. Rewiring people at the foundational level, so not at the top level where we just give them lots of information, getting rid of the rubbish, so that when we put the good stuff on, it stays and it lasts.
Fabulous. Okay, so tell us a little bit about where you are now.
These are some of my funnels and the bits that I've been working on, but it's all based on the 6-figure to 7-figure, 8-figure plus earners who are stressed, who are burnt out, and they've lost their joy for life in their business. They've usually got perfectionism, people pleasing, and imposter syndrome.
How many people have come through this process so far?
Moving from my old business to this one, we've just started, so I haven't really got many through there. I'm still working on my old business and that format until I've got, I'm trying to get them through, but it's just not quite working. Something's not hitting the messaging or whatever.
This is not working, right?
Yes, the messaging's not right. My advertising's not been right. There's a lot of things that haven't quite
Okay, so the messaging,
worked.
The ads are not working.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to look at that in a moment.
Please.
Okay, let's jump on into the next part. Let's see where we're at here. So this is your products, is it?
Yeah, these are all my products. So I've gone in with your advice on the free line, with my burnout busting masterclass, and then move on to the rewire program, which is an 8-week course, 3 hours each. So it's really intense at getting rid of the rubbish, but that's in a small cohort. So that's different to what I've been doing before, because it's always been one-to-one.
Okay.
I've now got a downsell because I didn't have anywhere to put people if they weren't going to pay that bit. So I've set up a school community, but then I've got an academy, which is a paid, and it's at 897. That's kind of just been started. And my upsell is the PowerShift program, which is basically rewire, but it's one-to-one.
Okay, so there's a lot going on here. How many people have been to your free offer, your masterclass, roughly?
Just over 30.
How many done?
I've done 5.
Okay, 150.
Yeah.
Okay, of that, how many people have bought the core program, the rewire program?
Nobody.
Okay, all right, so we've got a challenge there.
Yeah.
How many people have gone towards this downsell that you're mentioning?
I've only
150?
just done that, so I didn't have a downsell, so
Okay,
that's
didn't
why
have
I
that in
did that.
place.
So I needed that. But they were the wrong people. I was doing it through Eventbrite. I was trying lots of different things, but they weren't the right people.
Okay, we're going to work all that out, right? And what about the upsell here? How many people took the 7,000 offer?
People are more interested in that, and I've got 3 people at the moment that wanted to go through that, and I've just got to finalise those figures now.
Anyone in the mastermind group that you've got?
No, because I need to get them through the other bits to be able to do the mastermind. So I just feel like it's all starting with this.
You've got a spider, like almost a complex web.
Yeah.
You've had 150 people come in, but they're not sticking.
No.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
they just haven't got the money, and they're not the right people.
offers.
Even though I'm
Okay.
saying it's a certain.
What type of people come into? You've had 150 people to the masterclass. Tell me the type of people that come in on that masterclass.
They're meant to be leaders and 6-figure plus people, but it's not. It's even coming through from students, people that startups. They haven't got the money. So they're feeling stressed, burnt out, but then they haven't got the money to pay. So
Okay.
it's just not the right people, and that's my problem.
All right, for everybody watching at home, this is quite common. What we've done here is we've built out a whole range of products, but we've not got the right people coming in, and that's why we're not getting the conversions. That's obviously a big issue, and it's not uncommon, but we've got enough evidence. So what I'm pleased about here is Nicky's had 150 people through it, and on that basis, we've actually got enough evidence that these are not the right offers, or the offers are not converting. So we're going to have to change that a little bit later, and we're going to have to look at simplifying it. Tell me a bit more about where the business is at.
So currently my mind body wellness, which is where I came when I started with BBE, I've done what you suggested, which is increasing the pricing and then getting somebody else on board to take over that. So I've trained somebody up in my method, which is brilliant, and she's all ready and waiting to take over. But at the moment, because I'm not bringing in from my new Transform to Perform, I'm doing it still.
Okay, so hang on. What we're saying is we've got a business that produces £10,000 months, and then we've got another business which is all the new stuff that's not quite currently working at the moment. Okay, who are the people coming into the business doing 10k a month? Who are those types of people?
It's very generic. It's just people who are stressed and anxious, but they have other things coming on as well. A lot of word of mouth. Right. It's local people as well.
But you've got some evidence. You've got £10,000 a month worth of sales. You've got some people coming in that. We're going to dig back into that in a minute. It's quite difficult. So this is one thing I'll definitely say to everybody that's watching along. When you try to work on two businesses at once, often it can feel like you're playing ping pong in your head. Because 1 minute over here, next minute I'm over here, 1 minute I'm here, next minute I'm here. And it can create a lot of confusion. I see it all the time, actually. I see it a lot of the time when people got two things going on, it can be quite confusing. So that, have you ever felt like you've had a bit of ping pong going on?
Yeah, because it feels like I'm setting up a totally different business, even though it's doing exactly what I've been doing before. It's a lot that I've been taking on, just trying to change everything, but I've already been doing it.
What is your superpower? What is it that you are amazing at? Why are people so attracted to work with you in this business? But you obviously the next business is the messaging here. And by the way, just because you've created some assets, we can tweak those and we can do different stuff. But you've obviously got a bit of a superpower here. What is that skill set, that superpower you've got?
It's properly rewiring them at the foundational level. So what a lot of coaching and therapy and counselling is, it's just about helping them at the top level, but they're not working on their foundation. So if they're all wonky, that if you give them all the good stuff, they're not able to do it. So my job is to literally rewire them, take out the neurological pathways that are no good for them anymore, that set them up for survival and feeling in that state of stress all the time, to be able to succeed and just enjoy their life. So you said there's
all different types of people coming into this business?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, one of the things that I like to ask, and again, for those people watching at home, especially when you've got a business with lots of different clients and lots of different people coming in, there's a quick way that you can cut through the noise and actually get and dig into, who the target market should be. Because I think there's some confusion. I want to streamline all of this and bring it into one thing that we can do and we can build. So when we look at somebody that's come through this program, if you could only ever work with one person ever again, who is the person you work with and what result have they got?
So it was an amazing guy, really, really successful in his business. He was a founder of a very high-class garage. And he came in, he was really, really angry, didn't know why. He was really, really overwhelmed and anxious. He'd been in hospital thinking he was having a heart attack quite regularly. It wasn't, it was panic attacks. And he was just overweight, he was stressed, fed up with his team, he was the bottleneck to the business, and he was having problems at home because it was just too much on everybody. He was just falling apart, basically.
What actually happened?
So I removed all of the emotional gestalts and all the limiting beliefs and allowed him to see things totally differently. Now his team were really motivated. They're working and taking on all the things that he wasn't letting them do before. He's training them in a better way. He's got a really lovely family life. He's golfing all the time now, so rather than stuck there, he's loving his life, on holiday all the time. And he just loves it. And he's just telling everybody, you've got to go and see her. So they literally walk into the garage now. They say, what the heck has happened to you? He's half the size, really chilled and hanging out and having a lovely time. And so he's given me loads of people because they just see him and say, right, can I see her?
Well, that's why you're wearing your red cape today then.
Yes.
That's your Superwoman series, is it right?
Obviously, absolutely.
Okay, well, this is the thing. Everything you just told me, where is it on the funnel?
Yeah. So he was burnt out, but he didn't know that.
What we just did is got a very compelling message out of you. Let's go to where you start, but you can see the power in that message. And in fact, if you look at that question, no one's going to ask you that question. And that's the question we've just asked Nicky, for those of you that are watching. And you can see the impact that that's had, that's actually opened the door to where we should be going. So let's click forward a bit. What are you looking to accomplish?
So I want to be able to have enough people coming in of the right people. At the moment, that's not working. So I need the right people coming in. I need to have at least 5 people.
What was this guy's name that you said that you worked with?
Billy.
Okay. Would Billy go to a burning bust out masterclass?
I don't know.
But it's a serious question, right?
Yeah, so I've always done it one-to-one, and that's where it's strange then doing
it's a really
masterclass.
Interesting question to ask.
He probably wouldn't. He wanted one-to-one all the way through.
Yeah, well, he wanted one-to-one. He's too busy. He's stressed out. He don't want to sit there waiting for the answers, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now I'll ask you another question. What was it worth to Billy to get your help. So the life he had before versus the life he had after, what would that have been worth to him?
Well, he said that he would have paid at least 3 times. He said, I'm worth a lot more than that, than what I'm charging at the moment.
Okay, yeah, I definitely think,
They've tried everything. People that come to me have tried literally everything. They've tried coaching, they've tried counselling, and it's just not worked. And they come to me and they're like, oh my gosh, I'm sorted in 8 weeks. I don't understand. I've been with people for 2 years and nobody's done anything. Or
I think your positioning, I think we need to work on your positioning.
It's not right.
So when you say what you want a school group, you want a podcast, right? So I want to have people in my school group. Fine, we can start a school group and get people in it. No big deal. That's pretty straightforward. You just want a podcast, that's fine. We can start a podcast, but we need to know what the position is.
Yeah.
The one target that makes sense on there is that you want to create some sales. And essentially you're saying you want 5 people for Rewire. That was 5K, right? So that's 25 grand. And then you got 3 1-to-1 per month. And how much is 1-to-1? 7K?
Originally you were suggesting 25K, but I've not done that because I just want people in. So I've gone to 7K.
Well, I think that there is a world where there's a 25K option if you're positioned correctly. Because Billy would love to have had you as a consultant in his world at 25K, right, for the year. He would have liked that. I think you're worth that if you can have that impact on someone. But we need to build towards that. When we build the plan, I'll jump into that. Okay, I've got a very clear idea of where you need to be in your mind. I think you're not positioned correctly.
Yeah, I agree. Position's not right.
I think you're starting to drift away from your target market.
My worry about the masterclass is if I'm targeting the higher end people, the one-to-one, that first introduction that I do with people, that seems to be the thing that gets them on board. Whereas when I'm doing it online with lots of people, it just isn't sticking.
I think we've got a superpower here, and I think we need to leverage the superpower. You're trying to leverage time, but actually some of what you've been able to deliver, there's other mechanical levers that we can move. How hard have you been working on this, Nicky? What's the effort that you've been putting into this so far?
Well, I've been doing 7 days a week.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, it's been full on. 7
days a week?
Yes.
What are you doing during those 7 days?
So I'm just trying to do the marketing, trying to set up a new website. I'm just doing everything that I'm listening to try and make it work.
Essentially, you've got a lot on your plate, right?
Yeah, just a bit.
It sounds like you fix everybody else's stress, but how do you feel?
I think I'm starting to get a bit burnt out as well.
And have you had that in the past? Okay, so we've essentially got a lot here that we really need to fix this. If we had a magic wand and we were going to wave this over for you, what does great look like to you? But what I'd like to do is to try and ask you that question like instinctively. So, not just the standard answers, but what are you trying to create in your life? Now, you're a lovely woman. You're trying to help everybody else, which I think is amazing. What do you want out of life? What does that look like to you?
I want more time back.
Okay.
I'm 51 now. So
you look great.
Thank you.
Yeah. What will enable you to have more time?
Getting more people through with the right money coming in.
Okay. So you've got all these skills, but you've kind of been working really hard. And I think your split focus has also cost us a little bit.
Yeah, no, I agree.
All right. Well, look, that allows me to understand. Let's get to work. I definitely feel that we've got the right plan for you. And then we can go from there. Does that sound good?
That sounds brilliant. Thank you.
Pleasure. Okay, team, so we've seen Nicky's got a lot at stake. We've also seen that Nicky's got a great skill set. Ironically, I only think there's a few things missing that we need to tweak, and we're going to build that plan out now for exactly what Nicky needs to do to get herself focused, on track, and creating the revenue that she wants. Now, this is the thing. I've seen this many, many times with coaches, service-based businesses. They do get stuck in the messaging, the offer a lot of the time, and they tend to go wide rather than really narrowing in. What I want to do with Nicky now is take it step by step, make sure that she calls out this audience in an effective way. And also I want to simplify everything. I want it to be a bit more simple for Nicky to be able to go and execute. She's proven in the past that she can do it. She's done it already. She's done it before, but she's just got a little bit, she's drifted away from her target market and the people that she really does need to be talking to. So I want to get her back on track and get some great results fast. Let's go. Okay, Nicky, so undoubtedly, you've got some great skills there. You've learned, you've invested in yourself, you're really good at what you do. And by the sounds of it, you do an incredible job of helping a certain segment of people, just kind of drifted away from that target market, and that skill is not being executed, and we're trying to spread ourselves a bit too thin. So really what I want to do is I want to get you much more honed in. I want to position you better. You know, you're wearing the red cape today. You have got there's some superpowers, but I want those superpowers to be deployed in the right way, because otherwise you're not going to get the value. So the target market is simple. We want to be talking to stressed out business owners, and we're going to get clear on a positioning statement with you. This is going to be helpful for everybody that's watching at home. Your positioning is essentially your brand. How do you want people to see you? How do you want people to perceive you? And when I talk to Nicky and she's standing there, I see it clearly. She's spreading herself a bit thin. She's like, I work with high performers, six-figure earners. I work with these different people and do some business owner stuff and some other people that are stressed out. Basically, she can do loads. So therefore, she's doing loads. And that's where she spread herself too thin. I actually want to position you much more premium so you can leverage an increased price. Have you ever watched The Sopranos? Dr. Jennifer Melfi literally works with Tony Soprano, and he is a very busy, stressed out, he's a mafia boss, right?
Okay, so we're going mafia, right?
Not mafia, right? But he's a mafia boss. And what she does is she helps him to manage his life, to manage his performance, to manage his panic attacks. She's like the guide that is keeping him sane and stable and directive. And I feel that that is the kind of vibe that you've got. You can help people with overwhelm. You can help people with panic attacks. You can help people with pressure. You can help people with financial pressure. You can help people that are angry. You can help people that have got these problems. You can help people that are managing a team, that are managing families. So you've got all these different things that you can do, but we need to direct them all at one target market, and that has got to be business owners. Okay, it's got to be stressed out business owners carrying the load, and they've got a lot of pressure. So what I want to do is I want to wrap that into a positioning statement, because at the moment I feel like you try to be everything to everyone, which means you're no one to no one. So instead I want you to be looking for these the right positioning statement we're going to figure out in a moment. But before we do this, this is just a little bit of guidance and a little bit of coaching. You are very process driven. And by the way, everyone watching at home, this happens all the time. People get very into the process. I was actually helping a girl this week who is a very, very successful coach, actually, does about £500,000 a month in sales. And she had this problem too, right? She was going, Adam, I'm running a VSL and I've got an SLO and I've got this funnel and I've got that funnel and I've got this in my value ladder and I've got that going on. And she had all these things. She's focusing on the process, right, rather than the outcomes. And the problem is the process can often be very confusing. And this is the thing, it's never a straight line. Things don't happen the way you want them to happen.
Yeah.
You've probably experienced that already,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
Okay, we can control outcomes, but we can't control every step. People are not robots. They're not going to robotically walk towards every single step. So we have it as a framework and an outline, but instead we focus on what is the outcome that we are going to create. And really the outcome that you're going to create is that you change business owners' lives that are dealing with high pressure, high stress. So let's get to that positioning statement. So what we need to do as a psychotherapist, you're an expert at helping business owners, right? So I'm Nicky Anstey. Are you award-winning?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm Nicky Anstey.
Multi.
Award-winning or multi-award-winning psychotherapist. I help business owners escape extreme pressure and turn them into calm, performance-based leaders. Because this is what you said.
Yeah,
you help
absolutely.
them escape that. And the way you do it is by deep dive business coaching. So at the moment, that message is a lot clearer. And what it does is it positions you business, business, business. That's what you do. So a psychotherapist that helps business owners escape pressure, become calm leaders and get their life back through deep dive business coaching. Now you can get that message across, it becomes magnetic to the right people, and then all of a sudden the wrong people won't be attracted to it. And there's no student that's knocking on the door of you saying, can you help me? Because your message is so clear about what you do. And it's like, if you're under extreme pressure, and this is where we can go back to the messaging, okay? Now you're clear on who you are and who you help, we can go and find more billies.
Yeah.
That's the way it's got to be. Now that we understand who you are, who you help, what you do, who you do it for, I don't want to veer off that.
Okay.
That's the market. Obviously, if you've got business coming in, you take the business you've got coming in because you need it for cash flow. But now all new marketing is, I am a psychotherapist, right? And I help business owners to escape pressure, being angry, not being good with their teams, to actually arrive in a place where they feel in full control of their business and their life. That's where I want to be. Like, getting you to that place is now very clear on what you do. Let's now look at the simplicity of your business model. Currently, what you're doing is you're doing this masterclass.
Yeah.
The type of people that you want and that you want to reach out to are going to want faster resolution than going through a masterclass.
Yeah.
The things that success leaves clues. The business that was doing 10k a month, you did a simple call. You were able to run Google ads to the call, get people on the call. This is going to be the way that you want to actually start to bring people into your world. It's just going to be simpler. It's going to be faster. You can do that call with them. But this is where it's going to be slightly different. In the past, you used to sell hourly rate. You used to sell different things that were cheaper. We need that to be a bit more profitable so we can pay for the marketing. So let's say you charge $2,997 for 60 days worth of coaching with a stressed out, angry business owner that's under pressure. You're going to rewire them to have control of their business. So at the end of 60 days, you're going to feel like you have more control. You're going to be making better decisions. You're going to feel like you want to escape less, and you're going to be more in control. Make sense?
So is that just one person coming in for that? So that's one-to-one, or is that?
Let's do phases, and then we'll come back to that question. Good question, right? Now, the second part of that, and because you've got 60 days that you're working with these different business owners, this is where I'll come to exactly what you want to know the answer to in a minute, because there's different ways to do this. What that does is that positions you perfectly for people wanting to continue to work with you. And that's when you can then convert people onto a 12-month program. And you can say to them, look, you've done the 60 days, you pay 3K for the 60 days, we can work with you, you've established a price point, and then you can do 12 months, you can do an 18 grand price point here. He's already paying 1,500 a month, now 18 grand's the same money, they just want to work with you for the long term. You used to have a 7K price point, this is 1,500 a month, they paid 1,500 a month there, now it's 18 grand. And you can be the guide. So like I said about the Sopranos reference, you can be the person that is in their life, helping them make the decisions, starve off the pressure and keeping them in a good place. Now, you get very process driven, okay? So this is exactly why you've asked that question.
It's more the fact that I'm earning more as
I know that. I know why you've asked the question, it's fine. We'll come to it, right? You're very process driven at the moment, but when I got to the bottom of it, and I'm asking you, like, what do you really want? You want to earn more money. You want to earn more money fast. You want to get yourself in a better position. And this is exactly what's going to do that, okay? Because the economics of this model is very simple. It's going to cost about 100 quid to get a book call. You book 10 calls, you can spend 1,000 quid. This price point at 3 grand is an easy price point for people to take a punt at. Well, it's 3 grand. Like, I can take a punt at that. 5 grand is over punt level. It's a bit like, and you get resistance. And this is what's happening for you already. You're already getting resistance at the 5 grand. People ain't converting. Now you're going to take them to a shorter conversion period of a call, and they're going to convert even less. So what we've done is we've brought the price point down, but we've marinated the price properly for the future, which allows you to get some yeses. If you get 3 people a month saying yes here, you're back to your 9K a month here. If you convert one of those there, you've got an 18K coming in there when they convert. So like every 3 months you get another one of these on. And then you keep building, keep building, keep building. So if you look at that, one a month, that's 180 grand. You've got 90, you've got 108 here. So straight away, you've got a £288,000 business, and you've got the most simple business model ever. And you can start making the money you want to make. The biggest problem that we've got, Nicky, is you've overcomplicated the whole process. This is so simple. You've got the skills, you're just not leveraging the skills in the right way. I'm simplifying the business model in a big way because that's actually what you need to do. Now, here's your resistance point, which we'll talk about, is you don't want to get into this one-to-one, etc., understand, right? So this is what you can do. Now, you've actually got some margin in what you do. So your coach that you've been training, all of a sudden, you bring them on the call, you offer them the Rewire program, and you deploy the coach to go and do it.
Nice.
Now you're doing no work and you're getting the result. And you've got a cheaper rate anyway, so your cost of delivery on the 3 grand might end up being 500 quid. Now you're doing nothing and you're making 2.5. So now you've got your time back. And then with these ones, then you can offer you and say, well, now you can work with me for the course of the year, I'm 18 grand, and then you can move people across. And now what you do is you're building a coaching business. And that's what you need to do. What you've done in the past been way too complicated. You're surfing that you're trying to go after the wrong target market. And I think that you understand your Billy story is gold. That's where the money is. Right, and I'm sure there's more Billy stories, you know. So you want to be able, loads. So you want to be able to tell these stories, and you want to be clear on what you do. But the problem is, you're like, oh, there's a Billy story. Is business owners pressure, out of pressure, into control. Pressure to control. That's the message. You're under pressure, you want to be in control. That's the way I would be looking at it. You're under pressure, that could be financial pressure, that could be family pressure, that could be work pressure, team pressure, employee pressure. Do you want to be in control?
It's a big thing.
Get your control back.
Okay, it's a big thing about them being happy as well. That's the thing. They just don't, they're working really hard, they just lost that happiness.
Yeah, absolutely. So you can use all the pain, but this is, and you can use the messaging. You're fine at the messaging. When you did it and I asked you the question, you were perfect. Problem is you're doing loads of random stuff. That's the issue. You're just going off on tangents about all sorts of different things. You need to stay focused on one target market, one person that you serve. Bring more of those people in your world, take them through the process, through the process, through the process, through the process, through the process. And look, this is a 300k business in just a few moves. And then we can just build a coaching business. There's nothing wrong with selling one-on-one coaching if you've got coaches to deliver it. Yes, you can go one-to-many, and that's most people. And for some people, just for everybody that's watching at home, advice is given in the context of where somebody's at. And the bottom line is you've tried the webinars, you've tried the masterclasses, you've tried running these different things, you've tried the broad messaging. At this stage, it isn't working. Now you're under pressure because you're running enthusiastically in the wrong direction, and we don't build on sand, and you're building on sand. I've got all this stuff, if it doesn't work, I'm gonna be all, you're getting upset, which we can't have. So you need to redo your foundations. This is your model, strong model. And then what do? Then you build on a strong foundation. So we might decide to try a one-to-many webinar 12 months down the line when you've got 300k in revenue coming in. Just because you're doing one-to-one doesn't mean you need to do all the work.
Yeah, I like that.
This is something you can do in your sleep. You've already proven you've already done it. You've just drifted.
The bit that converts them normally is when I just have them around for speak to them for an hour and a half, and I kind of go through on a one-to-one what was the masterclass, but in more detail about them, so they feel totally understood, and that's the bit that the clincher.
Thing to understand is that business owners need support. They want someone in their corner. You have been in our networks, and you're around other business owners, and you've got people around you, and you're meeting people all the time, you're coming to Gold Circle, you're seeing people, you've got support. Most business owners don't have that. And business, when you're on your own, they're in a very, very lonely place. So they're alone, they're confused, they're lost, they're in their own head, they're doing all the stuff themselves, they've got no one to talk to, and they need someone in their corner. And you know what? You might fix someone. So you say, oh, well, my 8-week program will fix them. You might fix them, but then do you know what? 2 months later, they're going to need fixing again. What you need to do is you need to be the guide rather than the fixer. At the moment, you're the fixer. You're like, fix, bye. No, but you need to be the guide. And it's two different things. And that value is something that you want to start to build into what you do. Okay? Right, so these are the steps. Stop drifting away. Your skills are helping people escape pressure and get control back in their business. That's the first thing. Focus on one target market, which is business owners under pressure. And obviously there's lots of different types of pressure. Focus on creating outcomes over processes. Stop getting lost in the detail of this, to this, to this. Instead, just go super focused on the outcome that you're going to get the target market. And do you know what the thing is to understand is? Simple is the most powerful thing. You want to do the same thing over and over again. Get someone on a call, work with them for 60 days, move them into your long-term program. If we do that and you do that over and over again, you'll build a very profitable business very, very, very quickly. Your positioning is that you're an expert at helping business owners regain control and escape pressure, just like you did for Billy, just like you've done for lots of other people. That's how you position yourself. It's the only way you position yourself, and that's what you go out to market with your message. Your value ladder, which you had, which was complicated, is now simple. It is call, 3K program, 18K program, off we go. And finally, focus on relationships and conversations. Like, you're very personable. People like you. You know, you've got good skills. So you want to be in front of people and building relationships with people. And if somebody is a business owner under pressure, the way every time they think, I'm under pressure, I want to think like Nicky. Nicky can calm me. Nicky can give me control. That's how you want to position yourself. And if you do these steps, we can build up to 300K pretty quickly. Then we might go one to many, and you've got 100 grand in the bank, you ain't that bothered. If you spend a little bit of money, not too stressed out about the ads. Make sense?
Yeah, good. Brilliant.
Okay.
Thank
Good.
you.
You happy now?
Yes,
You're
I am
smiling?
happy.
Come give us a hug then. Well done.
Thank you.
I think we're all sorted. Lovely job. Well done.
Thank you.
No worries. You are there. Big smile there.